Hello everyone, my name is Max. In this video I'm going to explain how we would model a person as a cylinder in the wind. So this cylinder here is my person and wind is blowing against it with a velocity of 25 meters per second. Remember, this person was just walking across TU Delft. And this person has an average diameter of 0.22 meters. So this is an average diameter, right? And a height of 1.7 meter. Okay, and the person's temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, which is normal body temperature, and the air outside was 10 degrees Celsius, so a little bit chilly. We had to calculate how much the person has to produce heat to make up for the heat loss due to forced convection by the wind, which is colder than the person himself. And you should immediately think about Newton's law of cooling, which is H times the area times the difference in temperature. And for H, we can find a Nusselt relation. So by forced convection, we are really into dimensionless numbers, like the Nusselt number over here. So we want to find the Nusselt number to find H, to find the heat loss the person has to the environment. Well, for Nusselt, we gave a hint and said we can find a relation that looks just like this. So it depends on the Reynolds number and on the Prandtl number, with an alpha, a beta, and a gamma. And you have to find those alpha, beta, and gamma. Now, to find these, we have to know the shape which we're talking about, which is a cylinder, and we have to know Reynolds number, because these relations are only valid for certain Reynolds intervals and Prandtl intervals. So I'm going to calculate Reynolds, and all these were given in the exercise, so we just had to fill them in, and then we can find the Reynolds number for this situation, which is this number. So then we know in which regime it falls, because this Reynolds number falls in the regime that is between 4 times 10 to the power 4th and 4 times 10 to the power 5th, for which we can find a Nusselt relation if also the Prandtl number is correct, and the Prandtl number was also given, and this Prandtl number is larger than 0.7. So then we may use this Nusselt relation, and you can find these Nusselt relations in the formula sheet that is given with this course. There are some Nusselt relations there, and you have to pick the right one on the basis of these Prandtl and Reynolds numbers. So we can find this one. And then also we can fill in the numbers because we know Prandtl, which is 0.714, and we calculate the Reynolds. So then we also know Nusselt, which is then 710. And no units because these numbers are dimensionless, remember? And also, if I know Nusselt, I also know H, right? Because also lambda and the diameter are already given. So we just have to fill them in that equation. So for Nusselt we fill in 710, for lambda 0.025, and for the diameter 0.22. And we find 81 watts per meter squared times Kelvin, or Celsius. Doesn't really matter since it is a difference. Now we can find the heat loss because we can use Newton's law of cooling. It's H times A times delta T. And then we know H now, right? We have found that one. The A is only the area of the sides of the cylinder, so really this area, and not on top, for this relation is only valid for cylinders that are infinitely long. But alright, this one is not, but we still took this one for this case. Then this is the area which you are talking about, and we also know these numbers. And delta T is the tear of the body minus the tear of the air, which is then 27 degrees Celsius. So then we also know the heat loss, which is well, this equation. So we fill in the numbers for the area, we fill in the numbers for the difference in temperature, and we find 2.5 K watts, which is really a lot, and to be honest, too much to be compensated by a person, especially where you're not doing any exercise at all. This is really a lot of energy. And this is probably due to the fact that, well, this cylinder isn't really representing the person, of course, but the most important factor is the fact that the temperature of the skin of this person, so really this outer layer of the person, is not 37 degrees Celsius because he's wearing clothes, he has skin. So really an important thing in heat transfer is also where is the resistance, right? And probably the resistance is not in the convection right now, but inside the person. So that is why we get such a large number, and this is not really a realistic case. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you next time.